is Catherine Neuta. Today we will talk about the history of translation. And okay, so we can start. There are not a lot of information about the translation through the years. The author George Basting highlights this comment given the scares that exist on this subject, but there are a general panorama to describe this topic specifically in Latin America. The author suggests divide the history in four parts. The first part is the meeting and the conquest, the colonization, pre-independence, and emancipation, and the Republic. So let's talk about the first period, the meeting and the conquest. When the Spanish people arrived in America, they came across many languages that were logically unknown for them. Some of that languages are Azteca from Mexico, United States, and Central America, Maya, Chibcha, and Quechua, between others. Given this situation, the Spanish people wanted to teach to these people the language Spanish, and at the same time was born the interpreters to understand between Spanish people with the indigenous people. Some Spanish people required indigenous people to take them to Spanish and teach them about the culture and to serve the kings on the future trips. In this way, the interpreters played a very important topic in this history. Some colonizers even had three more interpreters to this way to colonization of America. Now we will talk about the colonization.
Good afternoon. My name is Sofia Cordova. I'm going to talk about colonization. After the conquest of America, the diversity of languages began to despair. The religious would decide to adopt a general language to facilitate communication between the Spanish and the different indigenous villages. During this time, the languages Nahuatl and Quechua had a great expansion. Also, many texts, translations, and languages studies by the religious were also lost. They didn't agree that the confession should be made with interpreters, or that the sacraments should be administered with who imparting the basic notions of the faith. This is how interpreters begin to acquire an increasingly delimited role and status. In a book dealing with the laws of the Indian kingdoms, where there are some laws concerning interpreters, and in colonial times were made valuable translations of European into indigenous languages, but there were many that were forbidden to send. Some of them are those of poor literal imagination, those concentrate to the royalties of the monarchs, written by foreigners, among others. And now my partner will continue talking about the time of pre-independence and late emancipation.
Yes, hi Sofia. Hi everyone. My name is Hector Andres Rico, and yes, I'm going to talk about the pre-independence and late emancipation. This is a period from the late 18th to the mid 19th centuries. During this period, we found an intensive translation activity in the Latin America region due to identity research, cultural roots rescue, and the imitation of European and North American tendencies between late 18th and early 19th centuries. Newspapers have been created in Cuba and Chile, which generated a wave of translation of texts and literary works on the time from different languages as French, English, Italian, and German, and less from Latin and Greek. The governments have played an important role in the creation of laws and universities. Giving a couple of examples, in Argentina, President Moreno has excluded the religious point of view from schools in 1810, and in Chile in 1840, the government has created the Universidad de Chile. Humanist people from a privileged social position motivated by the changes faced regarding politics, teaching, theater, literature, religion, and military translated a high number of books and texts from variety of languages and directly impacting the culture and strengthening the foundations for our actual cultural mixture. Now I give the word to Tatiana. She's going to share her findings about the Republic period. Thank you.
The Republic half of 19th century and now I'm talking about it. During this period, translation played a key role in the definition, implementation, and subsequent development of the Latin American nation. In 1945 was the year where the first university training program for translators appeared in Argentina. The Uruguay happened in 1954. In Mexico was in 1966, for Cuba 1968. So it emerged in Latin America for the first translation school in the university faculties. Since then, numerous Latin American universities have created relations departments in Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, Peru, Puerto Rico, and Uruguay, where most universities offer a translation degree after about 4 and 5 years of study. In terms of working language, English is the greatest demand, then French, followed by German and Italy, that is in the last demand. Since the 8th, there has been a large growth of events such as Congress, symposium, and national courses and international in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and several Latin American translation conferences have been organized since 1996. In Latin America, there are many jobs opportunities, and they are expanding in addition to the growing numbers of publishers of literary works and monographs. In the daily market, an anarchy is observed both in the rate and working conditions as well as the quality of the service and the demand of the client. Thank you for your attention.